let's talk about some identification strategies for how to identify the different text structures. So for description, one strategy is to draw lines on the article and divide the text into different categories. So you can do this by looking at the subtitles right here, the heading. However, you can also see that sometimes an author will have multiple headings, but it's about the same thing. So like studying the sage for conflict and root of the conflict slavery, these are all the reasons for war for the Civil War. And then strategy and goals, foreign affairs during the war. This is about strategy. And so this, even though it said strategy and goals, was about the like battle strategy, and this was more about the diplomatic strategy. And then we get into politics of the Republican Party and the Confederate politics. So it's politics covering both the Union and the South. And then you get soldiers and casualties and the landscape. So I put this together as consequences. And you can see that this is not in order of like timeline. It's more about topics of the war, even though it is about a history thing. Whereas on the other hand, sequence, this is the same topic, the U.S. Civil War, but it is different. So you would highlight keywords and then number the steps or events in order. So in this case, you look at what kind of keywords help you tell that it's sequence, and then you go back and see what's the order of events. The next one, compare and contrast. You would highlight the keywords. And so you'll see from here on out that the transition words that the author uses is a big help to know what is the text structure. One thing to note is don't get confused by an introduction. And so this whole article is about comparing Reconstruction, or what happened after the Civil War, between the North and the South. And it's an interview, but all the questions are compare and contrast. But the first two paragraphs give you some background. And so don't be confused by a couple paragraphs of introduction. You need to look at the entire text to see what the structure is, not just the first introduction paragraph. Cause and effect. And again, the identification strategy here is to highlight keywords. And that leads us to what would be some of these keywords.